Destiny Ifeanyi's story is one of resilience, purpose, and innovation. Starting out as an assistant in a small veterinary clinic, she quickly noticed a recurring issue. Finding quality pet essentials like shampoos and conditioner was a constant struggle. Prices would rise, supplies would run low, and clients were left without reliable options. One day, Destiny realized something powerful. Why not create these products myself? Fueled by her passion for animals and her drive to make a difference, she took matters in her own hands, and BioCara was born. Today, BioCara is more than a brand. It's a legacy in the making. Through locally produced high-quality pet essentials, Destiny isn't just meeting a need, she's setting a new standard in pet care. BioCara represents her commitment to creating lasting impact, one that will serve pets and their owners for generations to come. This is what it meant to build a legacy. Destiny Ifeanyi has shown that with vision and determination, a business can be more than a source of income. It can be a source of lasting change. Today, we celebrate Clara Chizoba, a true leading lady in the heart of Lagos. From humble beginnings, Clara has turned her dream into reality by establishing one of the city's best laundromats. With her unwavering commitment to quality and customer satisfaction, she's not just offering cleaning services, she's raising the bar for excellence in the industry. Clara's journey inspires all of us, proving that with vision, hard work, and passion, every woman can create a lasting legacy. So here's to Clara Chizoba and all the incredible women out there building their legacies one successful business at a time.
Women form 50% of Nigeria's population. Only 58% of Nigerian women are educated, compared to 75.6% educated men. 99% of women-owned businesses worldwide are considered small businesses. Only 5% of women-owned businesses are likely to be funded. About 5% of CEOs in Fortune 500 companies are women. 70% of those living in poverty are women. Yet, 66% of the world's work is done by women. Women produce 50% of the world's food. Yet, women own only about 1% of the world's property. It's no longer a question of women being empowered. Globally, women lack access to skills and training and face roadblocks to actively participating in economic growth. Empowering women and girls will lift families out of poverty and build stable economies. Children of empowered women are more likely to go to school. 10.5 million Nigerian children are out of school. 60% of out-of-school children are girls. The potential of Nigeria's economy is limited if a large percentage of women are unempowered. Women reinvest 90% of their income back into their families. Men reinvest 30 to 40%. If women empowerment was the same for men in the developed world, GDP will rise by over 12%. Whichever way you look at it, women empowerment is crucial to Nigeria's economic stability. We would like to announce to you that a movement has started already. Women are being empowered like never before all over the world, including Nigeria. Sentiment has begun to sway in the favor of women. Providence has started to smile on women. Men and women alike have seen the folly of leaving women folk languishing in penury, poverty, and lack of development. Family finances have been stretched so much, and men can no longer bear the strain alone. A clarion call has echoed through our nation. The Leading Ladies Foundation has heeded this call and has birthed the Leading Ladies Business Institute. More than ever before, women are being empowered through different kinds of financial and business empowerment workshops. The Leading Ladies Business Institute has a vision, and many giant strides have been taken. Join this chariot, join this league, join this unprecedented campaign that has the potential to spread like wildfire and empower women all over our nation. Every woman can be a part of this, not just by being a part of our free or paid workshops, but by never walking alone. Women can help women. Women can empower other women. Women can show the way to other women. Women can light the candles of other women, and knowledge can be diffused all over the nooks and crannies of our nation. All it takes is to be selfless. All it takes is not to keep information to yourself. Be quick to think about your sister. Be your sister's keeper. Scale through the barriers of background, religion, social and economic status, and lend a helping hand to another woman. We must do it now. We must start today. What starts here today can spread and change our nation and rewrite the history of the Black woman and, by extension, women all over the world. Nothing can stop us. Let us believe in the dream and start today. Sponsor or empower a woman today. Women form 50% of Nigeria's population. Only 58% of Nigerian women are educated, compared to 75.6% educated men. 99% of women-owned businesses worldwide are considered small businesses. Only 5% of women-owned businesses are likely to be funded. About 5% of CEOs in Fortune 500 companies are women. 70% of those living in poverty are women. Yet, 66% of the world's work is done by women. Women produce 50% of the world's food. Yet, women own only about 1% of the world's property. It's no longer a question of women being empowered. Globally, women lack access to skills and training and face roadblocks to actively participating in economic growth. Empowering women and girls will lift families out of poverty.
Hello, everyone. So is it better now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me now? I hope you can. I really, really do hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yay, you can hear me. I'm excited. Who is excited? Tonight is going to be a very, very power-packed night. I mean, we have been waiting for this as though it was our birthday. That's why I'm all up in my purple. We just are going to have an amazing time tonight. Welcome, dear ladies. Welcome to the Leading Ladies Business Institute, Africa's partner in women empowerment. Where are my ladies? Before we go on this call tonight, I don't want you to, just be the only one encountering what is in store for you tonight. I want you to share the YouTube link on your social media platforms, your Instagram, your WhatsApp, your broadcast list, your old school girls group. Share it to your friends, share it to everyone. Rita Nene says she can't hear me, but Vic says she can. So let me know if you can. Okay, so Bumi says she can hear me loud and clear. So Rita, if you can, you could just exit and try rejoining, okay? Or maybe you check the audio of your device. So who is ready tonight? And who is ready to break boundaries? Welcome to the Women's Entrepreneurship Day Conference hosted by the Leading Ladies Institute. Welcome everyone. Tonight we are going to be speaking about breaking boundaries, and the theme for tonight is breaking boundaries, navigating the new era of entrepreneurship. You know, one thing about business is that business has always been in business, but guess what? The times and seasons are changing, and we have, to learn how to navigate this new era and swim on the tide. If you have been joining Coach Iswa at her She Means Business, which are a free webinar that happens every Thursday, she's been talking about sinking or swimming, right? And that was why we just said, okay, you know what, we want to help women navigate the new era. There's AI, there's changes in our economic policies, there are a lot of new things, but guess what? Yes, your business necessarily or your vision might not necessarily be changing, but how you're going to do what you want to do, guess what? You have to go with the times. I'm so excited to have you all tonight. I welcome you on behalf of our founder, on behalf of our CEO. You are very much welcome. And if this is your first time, joining the Leading Ladies Business Institute at any of our events at all, I'd like you to make it show in the chat box. Is this your first time? Let me see in the chat box who is going to be with us for the first time, or rather, who is here with us for the first time. If this is your first time, I want to see you raise your hand in the chat box. And so we're going to give you a very, very special welcome. We love you. We're so happy to have you here. At the heart of everything that Leading Ladies Business Institute does, we just want to see women thrive. So Dosso Omobanke says this is her first time. Craft Hacks by Wonder says this is her first time. Hello, can we ladies just celebrate them in the chat box? If you are an LLBR alumni or if you've been in the community for a while, I'd like you to celebrate our beautiful, beautiful sisters, and we will welcome you. If we were having a physical event, we have come to fan you or something, right? It's going to be such a power packed, and I don't want to take much of your time so that we can go right into the agenda for today. So once again, welcome to the Women's Entrepreneurship Day Conference hosted by the Leading Ladies Business Institute. We are Africa's partner in women empowerment. Over the past 5 years, thereabout, we have empowered over 15,000 women with entrepreneurship knowledge and financial intelligence. And guess what? We have a vision to empower over 500,000 women by the year 2030, right? And with you and I, we can do this together. Why? Empowered women empower other women, right? And so I'm just going to be giving you a rundown of how tonight is going to be going. And guess what? We have a free gift for you. Oh my God, you're so going to love it. Like, don't leave this call without getting your free gift. It is just for you. The fact that you decided to show up, register, and join, you deserve it, right? So don't leave until you get all your gifts. But guess what? Every session is a gift in itself. Like, I'm so excited about the gifts. You're going to be interacting with it, and we have amazing things for you to interact with during the course of the event. Who is excited? It's going to be a party tonight. Yay, everybody's excited. Okay, so we're going to be having 3 speakers coming up tonight. We're going to be having Coach Iswa, which is the CEO of the Leading Ladies Business Institute and the Leading Ladies Foundation. We're going to be having our founder, Reverend Dotun Arifalo, coming up. She is a keynote speaker for today. Oh my God, you don't want it's going to be a burst of inspiration to move you towards the direction of your vision. And we're going to be having the delectable Mr. Emmanuel Tafa, a seasoned business consultant and coach. And, he's been in the consulting industry for over 15 years. He's handled over 500 businesses. He's such a bright mind, and he's going to be helping you navigate based on, working with so much businesses. He could tell you, girl, this isn't going to work. Girl, do this. He's almost like a how would I say it? He's almost like a, like a business doctor. That's what I call him. He can just look at the business and be like, girl, if you do this, do this, it's going to work. You don't even have to wait for big changes yet. And you're going to be having opportunities to ask questions. And even post the conference, we're going to, ensure that, we gather your questions sent to you. It's going to be a very, very amazing evening, right? And so we're talking about breaking boundaries. We want to take you from where you are to where you need to be. In between your vision are different kind of boundaries. We have mental boundaries, emotional boundaries, societal boundaries, marital boundaries, financial boundaries, whatever the boundaries are. Who is ready to take all of them down tonight? If you're ready, I want you to see you say, ready, ready, ready. I'm ready to break boundaries. Who is ready to break boundaries tonight? I want to see in the chat box, say, I am ready. So right about now, I'm going to be sharing an inspirational video talking about women in entrepreneurship, right? And I'm going to, right after that, I'm going to come up and welcome our first speaker, right? And yeah, so I would like my colleague to kindly help as we share the video tonight. But while we're waiting for the video, I want everyone to write in the chat box, what is your expectation tonight? You know why I said so? It is very possible to come for an event. I just say, let me hear what they are saying. Let me see their faces. Let me know what they have to say. But you know what will happen? When you come with an expectation, you would have the right questions to ask. And guess what? You would leave with the right answers. And the right answers will help you take the right action. And the right action will help you get the right results. So I'd like to, find out from my colleague if we're ready for the video. But before that, I want to see, what are your expectations tonight? And so for some people, it could be like, I just want to be inspired. I just feel so lethargic over the period of time. Or guess what? I haven't been able to make sense of my business since this Instagram came. Or you're just saying that, what, this AI, what is even going on with it? Like, I just feel so stuck. Or Instagram keeps deleting my account, right? What do I even do, right? How do I navigate the changes? How do I navigate the increase in dollar prices? My business, my raw materials, my direct cost is increasing. How do I? Or maybe you feel like, what, you've just been confused moving from one business to another business, right? And you just feel like, what, I just need wisdom, right? Tonight is going to be all of it. You're going to have wisdom, inspiration, knowledge, and questions answered. So let me go in the chat box and read what our beautiful ladies are saying tonight. Okay, so Doso Omobanke says she wants to get every details of this conference. Nice, I love that. Okay, so Theresa Agbona says it's a privilege to be here. Kate Ozichi says my expectation is to learn, apply, and get better. Okay, Melanie Ryan says she's ready to break boundaries. Joy Chiza says she's ready to carry her business to the next level. Oh my God, I love that, right? So let me see. Okay, Wora Olami says it's a privilege to be here. We love to have you here every time, Wora. Okay, Ijoma Mariam says, okay, that's just a side comment. Okay, so Team Han TV says she wants to get every bit of it. Okay, so right about now, we're going to be going to the video talking about women in entrepreneurship. We're going to be seeing the potential of women rising in business, and we're going to be seeing the gap that currently exists so that you and I can rise to the fullest potential of what, the tool of entrepreneurship has for us. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Women form 50% of Nigeria's population. Only 58% of Nigerian women are educated, compared to 75.6% educated men. 99% of women-owned businesses worldwide are considered small businesses. Only 5% of women-owned businesses are likely to be funded. About 5% of CEOs in Fortune 500 companies are women. 70% of those living in poverty are women, yet 66% of the world's work is done by women. Women produce 50% of the world's food, yet women own only about 1% of the world's property. It's no longer a question of women being empowered. Globally, women lack access to skills and training and face roadblocks to actively participating in economic growth. Empowering women and girls will lift families out of poverty and build stable economies. Children of empowered women are more likely to go to school. 10.5 million Nigerian children are out of school. 60% of out-of-school children are girls. The potential of Nigeria's economy is limited if a large percentage of women are unempowered. Women reinvest 90% of their income back into their families. Men reinvest 30 to 40%. If women empowerment was the same for men in the developed world, GDP will rise by over 12%. Whichever way you look at it, women empowerment is crucial to Nigeria's economic stability. We would like to announce to you that a movement has started already. Women are being empowered like never before all over the world, including Nigeria. Sentiment has begun to sway in the favor of women. Providence has started to smile on women. Men and women alike have seen the folly of leaving women folk languishing in penury, poverty, and lack of development. Family finances have been stretched so much, and men can no longer bear the strain alone. A clarion call has echoed through our nation. The Leading Ladies Foundation has heeded this call and has birthed the Leading Ladies Business Institute. More than ever before, women are being empowered through different kinds of financial and business empowerment workshops. The Leading Ladies Business Institute has a vision, and many giant strides have been taken. Join this chariot, join this league, join this unprecedented campaign that has the potential to spread like wildfire and empower women all over our nation. Every woman can be a part of this, not just by being a part of our free or paid workshops, but by never walking alone. Women can help women. Women can empower other women. Women can show the way to other women. Women can light the candles of other women, and knowledge can be diffused all over the nooks and crannies of our nation. All it takes is to be selfless. All it takes is not to keep information to yourself, but quick to think about your sister. Be your sister's keeper. Scale through the barriers of background, religion, social and economic status, and lend a helping hand to another woman. We must do it now. We must start today. What starts here today can spread and change our nation and rewrite the history of the Black woman and, by extension, women all over the world. Nothing can stop us. Let us believe in the dream and start today. Sponsor or empower a woman today.
It's an honor to introduce our first speaker, a true powerhouse in business and leadership, Isoa Okoje. Isoa is the CEO of the Leading Ladies Business Institute, Africa's premier institute for women entrepreneurs. Since its inception in 2016, she's empowered over 15,000 entrepreneurs, helping them build profitable businesses through her dynamic mentorship and expertise. As a founding partner of the Leading Ladies Foundation, Isoa is at the forefront of driving Africa's economic growth. As a founding partner of the Leading Ladies Foundation, Isoa is at the forefront of driving Africa's economic growth by equipping women with the tools to succeed. She is also the visionary behind the Sisters Connect Network, a vibrant community that fosters collaboration, accountability, and success among female entrepreneurs. But Isoa's impact goes beyond business. She is the founder of Amidia Naturals, an organic body care company, and serves as a senior pastor and church planter at Dominion House, where she's played a pivotal role in expanding its global mission. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Isoa Okoje.
Hello, ladies. Good evening. How are you all doing today? I'm super excited to be here. Let me know that you can hear me this evening. I'm so excited. Do I have my leading ladies in the house this evening? Where are you all? Let me hear you. I am so glad. We have waited for this day. I mean, this day feels like my wedding day, literally. We have waited for this day because any opportunity to celebrate women is a big opportunity for us at the Leading Ladies Foundation. So can you hear me tonight? Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me loud and clearly. You can see me clearly, you can hear me loudly. I want to know, and then we're going to dive into all that we have in store tonight. All right, so let me know that you can hear me, ladies. I'm waiting. All right, so let me just check. I want to see that you can hear me on the live call. All right, somebody says no sound. Can somebody hear me, please? 16. She's empowered. All right. Okay, thank you. Awesome. So I wanted to check another device to be sure that you can hear me. It seems to be lagging here. I'm so excited that you can hear me. Good evening, everybody. I am so super pumped up tonight. I love women and every opportunity to celebrate power women. I will not take it for granted. I want to celebrate every woman in the house tonight. You're here logged on this call. Whether you have a business or your business is still at idea phase, I want to say happy Global Women's Entrepreneurship Day. It is not easy to run a business. Do you agree with me? If you have run a business for 1 week, 1 month, 1 day, you would understand that, running a business can be one of the most difficult things that you put yourself to. Am I right? Am I right? Running a business can be one of the most difficult things that you literally put yourselves to. And that's why, on an opportunity like this, we will not pass it over to celebrate you. Whether your business is even still at idea phase and you haven't started at all, I want to say kudos, girl. Well done. You can. And that's what this conference is about, getting you off your seat, getting you off your backs, all right? Getting you on that lane where you eventually begin to achieve your dreams. And so I want to welcome you. I'm super excited to be here. From everybody on the board of the Leading Ladies Foundation, this is our dream, to empower women, economically, to empower women to run businesses, to empower women to be financially independent. I mean, you watched that video just before I came up, and you saw the statistics of African women, particularly women in Nigeria. And really, that is the statistics of women in Africa and Black women. And we are saying, you know what? Enough of all of that. We want to take the bull by the horn. We want to take the front line and empower women in Africa. I mean, how many of you here on this call can say that your mother ran a business, whilst you were growing up, and that business was instrumental to everything that your family did? Let me see you on the call. I want to see you. I'm checking your comments on YouTube. I want to see how many of us had mothers who run businesses, and you could literally say that if my mother did not run a business when I was, I can't even say what would have happened to my education. Or I can't even say what would have happened to, our family. Maybe we wouldn't have been able to feed or do some things, right? How many of you can say that? I can literally say that. My mother ran several businesses. I saw her run several businesses growing up. And those businesses were very instrumental to our care growing up. All right, thank you. I see many women saying, I'm here. That your mother run a business, awesome. How many of us have our mother's businesses still existing? Let me hear from you. How many of us can say that our mother's businesses are still existing and they are not alive, right? My mom has passed on. She passed on. In fact, it was like we did obituary for her and her businesses. All of those businesses folded up within a matter of months. It was not even up to a year. How many of us can say that my mom is dead, but her businesses are still thriving? Anybody like that on that call? Anybody active but still like, fine. I'm even talking about a woman who is alive and businesses are still thriving. They are still very, very, profitable. All right. Somebody says her business passed with her. All right. She did, but not existing. Did you understand? And this is the statistics of most women
the fact that many women dream small. And that's why if you're on this night, I want you to go share this link wherever women gather, anywhere in your world, on a WhatsApp group, on a Facebook group, on an Instagram channel, wherever they are. Go and share this link, because we owe ourselves a huge responsibility to empower women for the future. Thank you. The truth is that most businesses die with their owners. Most women go to the grave with their businesses. Some of their businesses even die before they die. And that's why we're saying that one of the things that we want to achieve with African women at the Leading Ladies Foundation is to help you build a legacy. Enough of businesses going under. We've seen too many women. I call them Mrs. Double. Today they are into something. Today they have a makeup studio. Next tomorrow they have a restaurant. 3 days later, they have something else entirely different, and they keep on dabbling from one business to another. I remember, encountering a lady, and she was telling me, "Oh, Coach Iso, I'm tired of my business. I want to close it down. It's not working," and all of that. And I asked her one simple question. I said, "Do you know any woman in your world or anybody in your world who is running this same business and is succeeding?" And she said, "Oh, yeah. There's a woman close to me. She has a store just like mine has, is thriving." And I said, "So it's not that the business is wrong. It's not that there's something wrong with the business, all right? At the end of the day, there's something wrong with your mindset. You don't have certain skill set to run a business." And that's why wherever you know that women are tonight, go tell them, drag them out here. Women, we're very good in sharing good news, aren't we? All right, you take your child to a good school, you tell every woman that, that this school is good. You find, a good company to do your laundry or to do your cleaning, you let everybody know, all right? That's the same way I want you to go drag every woman here right now tonight. And go let her know, look, there's a place where, we are going to hear the right things that we need to propel our lives and our businesses forward. Because we are talking about the future here. I don't know about you, but I want to be a woman whose children will inherit my businesses, right? I want to be a woman whose children don't need to seek for job opportunities. They have ready jobs waiting for them. I remember last week, I met a lady who says, I am a grand and great granddaughter of entrepreneurs, right? She did not leave school looking for a job. I mean, she's working a job just because they want her to work it, right? Maybe to get a little exposure or whatever it is. But she came into a ready life. And that's the way it should be. In that particular video that we watched, we saw that women take back at least 90% of their income. I'm sure if you're a mother here, you will testify to that. A woman has money, everybody in the family has money. And that's why women empowerment is so powerful. That's why women empowerment is at the crux of any form of economic reform. Listen to me, ladies. If Africa is going to change, if you're going to see the Africa of your dreams, the country of your dreams, the continent of your dreams, can I announce to you that women empowerment is at the forefront of that change and of that revolution that we need to see. And so don't just be selfish to be on this call alone tonight. Go and drag every woman and tell them, look, enough is enough. Enough of that urgent 2K here and there. Enough of this hustling and bustling all over the place. Now it's time to settle down and build a global brand. All right. So if you're ready with me, ladies, let's get into some amazing things tonight. One of the things I'm going to do tonight is challenge your thinking. All right. Are you ready? Excuse me, please. One of the things I'm going to do tonight is challenge your thinking. Can you still hear me? Right? I want to challenge your thinking. I want to get you into a new zone. Now we're talking about breaking boundaries. I love the topic breaking boundaries. You know why? It challenges all of us to take responsibility for our lives. For a long time, women have waited for success to come to them, isn't it? Right? We've waited for success to come to us. We've waited to be given a seat at the table. We've waited to be given permission. We've waited for things to happen. We've waited for people to give us, permission to say, oh, go do this, go do that. But I tell every woman, you see, every opportunity that you have, you don't need permission. I tell every woman and any woman I meet anywhere, with any opportunity I have, you do not need permission to fly. It's time for women to create their own tables. It's time for you to give yourself a seat at the table. It's time for you to design your own life. It's time for you to paint your own dreams. And by all means, do you, be you. Because at the end of the day, what are you going to have? You are responsible for your life. Enough of the excuses you have given yourself over all this while. You've excused yourself long enough. You have believed the lies. You have accepted the stereotypes. You have accepted and condoned the boundaries. Now it's time to take off those limiting beliefs, right? And the first place and the first boundary that you need to take off, all right, it's in your mind. The first limit you need to take off, it's in your mind. Why? Your mind is your greatest asset. Oh my, it is your greatest asset. It is the biggest farmland in the world that is yet untapped. It is the biggest mind that is yet untapped. Understand that, right there within you, you have enormous potential to be who you decide to be. I have never found anybody who became successful and did not make a choice to be. I mean, who knows anybody like that? I have never found anyone who became successful without deciding to be successful. It takes you to take that step. It takes you to believe in yourself. It takes you to craft and design your own dream. Most women live their lives by happenstance. And yet, unless you live your life by design, success will be very far away from you. But today, I want to challenge some very big mental boundaries that may be stopping you or have stopped you at one point in my life, stopped me from going for the things that I wanted, the things I deserved, right? The things I desired. Because look, at the end of the day, life doesn't give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you demand out of it. I'll say that again. Life does not give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you demand out of it. And that's why you see laziness can be the most expensive habit you ever have. Some people don't know that they're lazy, but the truth is that most people are lazy. Why? What's the difference? One of the differences between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people are willing to do the things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Successful people are willing to work harder and longer than unsuccessful people. And that's why I say that laziness can be one of the most expensive habits you ever have. Let me tell you, all forms of laziness, lack of motivation, laziness. No dreams, laziness. It's costing you more than you can actually imagine. You've been lazy to start that business, been too lazy to finish that course, been too lazy to enroll for that apprenticeship program. And yet it's costing you so much. You know why? Not getting up to take action and do things that you want to do is costing your dreams. It's costing your happiness. It's costing you fulfillment. It's costing you time freedom. Most women want to spend time with their children, and yet they cannot. Why? Because most of the time, we're too lazy. We don't want to take responsibility for our lives. One thing people never think about is that every time you choose laziness over action, all right, and I'm calling inaction laziness today, all right, so bear with me. Every time you choose inaction over action, I want to let you know you are losing an opportunity in front of you. You are losing ground in the future. How much is your lack of action costing you? Because the truth is that not taking action today is taking a tax on your future. It's taking a toll on your future. Many years ago, I told myself one thing. I said one statement I never want to make in my life is, had I known. No, I want to live my life to the fullest. I want to take every opportunity that is ahead of me and is in front of me. I want to be prepared for those opportunities. Because today we're talking about boundaries. I mean, if you have been running business for any amount of time at all, you understand and you know that the business world has changed dramatically. Many things have evolved over the years, right? Many things have changed and more changes will still come. The only challenge I have is that with most entrepreneurs, especially on this side of the world, is that we're still way behind of our time and of the world. It is so easy to be unintentional, trust me. It is so easy not to take action when you are not thinking about the consequences. There's a way that you can disconnect your present choice from the future cost. What is the future cost? Have you thought about the cost of not living your life on your own terms? Have you thought about the cost of not starting that business? Have you thought about the cost of not becoming financially independent? One of the reasons women suffer abuse and die in abuse is because they simply cannot take care of themselves. Talk less of taking care of their children. It is said that almost 50% of women make a marital decision because of financial empowerment. And we are saying, no, enough. It's time for you to design your own life. And that's why a woman gives birth to a child and she knows nothing else that the child is useful for but marriage. I remember one day being at a mall. I was so mad that day. And this woman was scolding her 5-year-old daughter. That girl could not have been more than 5 years old. And scolding the girl, she said, "Is this what you would do in your husband's house?" Oh my goodness. Give us a break. That girl is being wired to think that there's nothing useful about her life until she's married. And that's why most women pack. They finish school and they think that's all. The next, I just want to achieve my life's goal, get married, and then pack there. The most embarrassing thing you can tell your children when they need something is wait for daddy. Come on now, please don't do that again. The most embarrassing thing you can do for your child, your son or daughter, when they need to get something, when something needs to be done at home, is wait for daddy. Because mommy refused to get up. Because mommy refused to fulfill her dreams. Because mommy refused to take her life in her own hands. Because mommy refused to be responsible. Many years ago, my mentor, Dr. Arifalo, she's going to come up, very shortly. She said something that, got me thinking, and I've never forgotten that statement. She said, don't just write your goals. She said, write down the consequences of not achieving those goals. Sometimes you write down goals for goals' sake. But how clear you are rather about the circumstance or the consequences of not achieving those goals can actually be your motivation and your driving force. Because when you don't live your life by design, trust me, your life is not going to be as beautiful as you envisaged. For you to have the life of your dreams, you've got to live life by design. Notice, you would have noticed if you are over 15 years old, that everything in life seems to spiral downhill. When you don't take care of your health, what happens? You begin to have health challenges. When you don't take care of your finances, what happens? Financial crisis. You don't take care of your marriage, what happens? Marital crisis, right? You don't take care of your children, what happens? They become a crisis in the future. Think about it. You build a new house. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It has everything. And then you lock it up. No care, no attention, nobody living in it. What happens? It begins to break down. You buy a car. You park it. You don't drive it for a long time. The day you take out that car, it's going to break down, right? So understand, you put food on the table. The same thing happens. Nigeria alone loses 50% of food produced after harvest. 50% is one of the reasons that we have food scarcity right now. Our post-harvest loss is about 3.5 trillion naira. I'm telling you, it is some country's whole budget. Think about it this way. Your mind is attending the same order of loss and destruction if you do nothing. The biggest boundary that you need to break is here, within your 2 ears. Because that's where your personal economy resides. All of us will live our lives based on our personal economy, our personal philosophy, and not just the economy of the nation or the continent that you live in. Are there not people with the same government, the same opportunities and the same threats, the same challenges still thriving? That means there's something about the way that they think. Understand, ladies, there is no vacuum in life. If you didn't spend the year 2024 growing and developing your mind to improve your own personal economy, can I announce to you that you just tasked your future? You've taken out of your future. My mentor, Dr. Arifalo, would say that, there's a bondage that leads to freedom and a freedom that leads to bondage. Growth will never be easy. Growth will not be easy. Successful people do what they don't want to do. All of us are faced with the same challenges. Who doesn't want to Netflix and chill? Come on, talk to me. Who doesn't want to Netflix and chill? Who doesn't want to, cross your leg and just lounge and gist all day? Come on, that would be nice. So they don't just do things because they have special superhuman abilities. No. They are just very intentional. I tell people there are two pains in life. Two pains. And whether you like it or not, whether you're going through T-pain, there are two pains in life. The pain of growth and the pain of regret. We will experience one or the other. And that's why you've got to make a choice. Ladies, invest in yourself. Invest in your mind. It will be the biggest investment that you put in your life. Investing in your mind, growing yourself, that will be your biggest investment. How many books did you read this year? You're running a business. Yes, you never took a business course. You're in a business. Yes, you don't have a coach. You don't have a mentor. You don't belong to a community. Come on. One is too small to achieve greatness. It takes you being in a community of like-minded people for certain opportunities and information to come to you. But now let's attack, the killer of dreams. And that's the lack of mental capacity to take action. You can call it lack of motivation. You can call it inaction. You can call it laziness. But it's still the same thing. It's a killer of many dreams. It has killed the dreams of many women. Most women, I don't know if you have older parents or grandparents. What is that one predominant, emotion that old people have? Regret. They're always talking about what they didn't do that they should have done. They're always talking about opportunities that they missed. They're always praying and saying, oh, I wish I had foresight. But let me tell you, foresight is not, it doesn't happen by chance. Foresight happens by certain things that you do, like changing the way you think. I read a book many years ago, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It is so true. And so one of the ways to break these personal limitations, break these barriers, all right, break these boundaries of fear, imposter syndrome, lack of drive, laziness, because understand it is costing you so much. There is a real cost, and not just in naira and kobo, or in dollar and cents, or in pounds, but in dreams wasted and opportunities lost forever. Think about it. You've been wanting to start that business all this while. You didn't start it. 2 years ago, you had the idea. 3 years ago, you had the idea. 4 years ago, you had the idea. 10 years ago, you said you would do it. You will do it. You will do it. Guess what? That business terrain is changing every time. Those who started the business when you didn't start it have a market share that you don't have. They have learned from things. They have learned from their mistakes. They've gotten better. They are evolving in the business. Hey, get started. And that's why today I want to outline for you 4 ways that you can overcome the barrier of lack of drive, fear, imposter syndrome, laziness, call it whatever, lack of self-discipline. And the first one is painful awareness. We say that when it comes to learning, there are 4 stages of learning. The stage of unconscious incompetence, that is, it's called blissful ignorance. But ignorance is not blissful. Right, I need to round up now. Ignorance is costing you much more than you can imagine. And then we have the second stage, the stage of conscious incompetence. Now you know what you don't know. It's painful. And then you have the third stage, the stage of conscious competence. You are learning actively. All right, you're in a boot camp. You're in a training like this. You're in a conference like this. You're meeting people. You're getting enrolled in a program. You're really reading books. You're getting into communities. You're exposing your mind. And then the fourth stage, which is the stage of unconscious competence, is the stage of mastery. But let's leave that aside as we tackle these 4 things that can help you get off your seat. Because you see, one thing I want to do for you today, ladies, I want to get you off your seat. I want to get you running and moving and chasing those dreams right now. So number 1 is painful awareness. Become painfully aware of what your lack of action is costing you. Usually, you need someone to help you see that. You need someone to help you see what you've been missing. A coach, a mentor, a growth-minded, community. You can't be your own mirror. You need somebody sometimes to show you. You can't be your own mirror. That's the truth. Why do we have mirrors? To see things our eyes cannot see. And that's why, having that opportunity to have a coach, a mentor, go through a program, it is great. A great part of self-awareness is having someone assess you. The second thing I want to say is immediate action. Motivation is overrated. Ladies, go for discipline. Discipline. What is discipline? Discipline is doing what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. It is action that actually creates motivation. Have you been there before, not wanting to exercise, feeling so tired, out of color, fatigued, and suddenly you decide to exercise? What happens? Almost immediately you begin to feel good. Yeah, exactly. Some of you have been waiting to feel ready to start that business. What are you waiting for? God to tell you, my daughter, it's time to start that business. You'll wait forever. You've been waiting 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Ladies, how's that going? Action has a way of revealing resources you never knew you had. Take action. Don't be afraid of failure. You know, school taught us that failure is bad. It's not true. There is no success without failure. If you're too afraid to fail, you are too afraid to succeed. And that's why we reduce the failure rate by actually learning, growing. That's what it's called, risk management. You manage your risk by knowledge, by information. Do you understand? The moment you take action, you see that possibilities start appearing. There's something called the law of diminishing intent. The longer you wait to take action, the less likely you are to achieve it. So take action now. Somebody will say action pronto. Take action. Number 3, momentum. Success is all about consecutive actions. Don't stop moving. It's amazing how we congratulate ourselves so early, how we pat ourselves on the back so soon, how we tell ourselves, girl, you've done so well, go and rest, take a chill pill. No! What do you see successful people doing? They keep on going. They keep on going. My coach, Dr. Ifalo, would say, don't stop when you're tired. She would say, don't stop fighting your gorilla when you're tired. You stop fighting your gorilla when your gorilla is dead. What does that mean in this context? You don't stop pushing until you see those goals accomplished. Don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. All right? Number 4, and I hope you're getting all of these nuggets. Environment. A lack of drive, laziness, imposter syndrome, all of those things, all those habits and ways of thinking thrive in certain environments. Your dreams, your self-discipline, your courage, your drive need a particular kind of environment to thrive. Don't even second guess that. Eagles cannot thrive in certain places, right? Ducks cannot thrive in certain places. Do you understand? Just like certain plants, they are put in the greenhouse. There's a certain temperature for it. You know, the right amount of water, the right amount of exposure to sunlight and all of that. The moment those, conditions change, what happens? You see the plant begin to die. That is the truth. There are factors that are necessary for you to actually thrive and grow in life and business. Today I'm not just talking exclusively about business, because I know, for us as women, our life is all encompassing. It's not about one thing or two things. Women wear many hats. And that's why one of the things you must seek to do for yourself is be in an environment that makes laziness uncomfortable and makes taking action very easy. Have you been there before? I've been there many times. You've been procrastinating on something and suddenly your coach says, no, you have to do this now. Accountability, environment. Enough is enough. Willpower will never help you. I mean, you have been working with sheer willpower all this while. How's that going? Enough of testing your willpower. Instead, put your willpower into a system that will help you, consistently make progress every single time. And ladies, as I bring my talk to a close tonight, I dare say if it's going to be, it's entirely up to you. You are the MD CEO of your life. It's time to take your life in your hands. It's time to design a future that you desire. It's time to design the life of your dreams. Nobody's coming to save you. Ladies, stop waiting for that Prince Charming. Charming, you're still waiting? Get up. Be your own savior. Wake up and smell the coffee. Start to move in the direction of your dreams. And that's why the poorest people on earth are not those that don't have money. The poorest people on earth are those without dreams. And so, ladies, if you ever put your dreams on the back burner, this is me telling you, wake up. Go pick up those dreams. Dust them. Go back to your canvas and paint your dreams like your life depends on it. Because what is existence without dreams? It's time to start living. It's time to break those boundaries and get out of your comfort zone. You've been too comfortable all this while. All right? Go for things. Dare for more. Dare to be bigger. Bite more than you can chew. That's what my mentor would say. Bite more than you can chew. You find yourself advancing progressively over and over and over again. And I want to say, ladies, you can do it. You can. Just start. Don't make excuses anymore. And all through this conference, take notes. Make sure that today you really break boundaries and you get up and do something that you've never done before. Right now you're going to hear my coach, my mentor. She's mentored me in the last 12 years, and I tell you, my life is better off for it. And today she'll be speaking to you. There's something about her and the way she challenges people to be better than they ever thought possible. All right. So as we go on with the conference, I want to encourage you. Do your best to stay through and maximize this opportunity to break boundaries forever. And I love you, and I'm passionate about you and the future that is ahead of you. Let's make Africa great as we see women build businesses that last 100 years, 200 years, 400 years, 500 years. And I can't wait to see you at the top. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you on the other side of success. Mwah! Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Hear me now? Can you hear me? Um, okay, I hear that you can hear me. Thank you very much, Coach Iswa. That was such a very, very packed session. For me, I felt like Coach Iswa just came to just come and shake us off out of our comfort zone. Can I, see in the chat box any woman who is, saying I'm leaving my comfort zone tonight. One thing that I really, really loved from the session was, reduce your failure rate by knowledge. Reduce your failure rate by knowledge. At the Leading Ladies Business Institute, that is one thing that we stand for. We believe in the power of knowledge to take someone from where you are to where you should be. And guess what? It is even beyond what you desire. It is what you deserve. So in the chat box, I would like you to, post one thing that stood out for you, one thing that you are going to be doing. But guess what? I'm not even going to leave you with the option. Hey, can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, so someone says loud and clear. Thank you so much. I was like, no, 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 this party cannot, be spoiled tonight by sound, right? Thank you very, very much, everyone. And so, for a few things that you can begin to do is join our Empowered Women community. Over the past few weeks, Coach Iswa has been taking us in a very amazing, program called She Means Business, which happens every Thursday live on Telegram. She's been taking us in a series called Sink or Swim, and I would like my colleague to kindly help post the link to join our Empowered Women community. Guess what? We have those things going for free. And every third Thursday of the month, physically, we have something called the business clinic. Coach Iswa comes like a doctor and she looks at your business and she begins to give you the right dosage of injections and medications that you need to take your business to the next level, right? And another thing that you could do right away is begin to upgrade your knowledge. If you're someone who you're an aspiring female entrepreneur and you haven't even started a business, we have something called Empower Her Startup Business Bundle, and my colleague is going to be helping post that in the chat box. And if you are a current business owner but you just feel like my business it's not just giving what it should be giving, right? We have something called the Scale Up Bundle, where you can take your business to the next level. Something else that you could do is get on a one-on-one coaching call with Coach Iswa. We have our consultation where you could, have that session with her. We could have it in, boxes of time. You could have, one session. You could have, like a session for an entire year where you just get into a room with Coach Iswa and then you can take your business to the next level. Okay, so I'm hearing that there's no sound again. I'm not really sure why. Okay. All right then. So I think next up we're just going to bring our next speaker up. We have Reverend Dotun Arifalo coming up, and she's going to be taking us in the next session.
Attention women entrepreneurs, are you ready to turn your entrepreneurial journey around? Feel free to have a true expert here to guide you, an absolute trailblazer, visionary, and icon. Please welcome Dr. Arifalo, President of Dr. Arifalo Ministry, founder of the leading Ladies Business Institute. Dr. Arifalo is an esteemed author of over 20 transformative books and a leader in human capacity development. With 15 years of experience, she has mentored and empowered over 15,000 women entrepreneurs globally, helping them unlock their potential and thrive in business. Today, she will share her wisdom with all of us with the Leading Ladies tab. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Arifalo.
Hi, everyone. All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm super excited to be here with you all today. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Yes, 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 yes. Loud and clear. Super excited to be here. And I celebrate you all. Happy Women Entrepreneurship Day. And we are breaking barriers. Thank you so much. It's so for that amazing session and that staring session. And I believe, we are ready to go for more and to become more. There's something I'd just like to share with us, just a thought I'd like to share with us, in this amazing conference. And I celebrate also our great host today, Eddie. Thank you so much for, just being an amazing spokeswoman. So if you're here today and you know that you are ready for change, come on, do something. Let me hear from you in the chat box. If you are ready for change, you're ready to break barriers, you're ready to break boundaries, you're ready to be more, you're ready to take your life in your hands, you're ready to take control, you are ready for more. Come on, let me hear from you in the chat group. Come on, you are ready. Come on, say, I am ready. I am ready. All right, I see you, I see you, I see you. I am ready. The theme here is breaking barriers, breaking down barriers or breaking down boundaries, right? So let's start by asking ourselves, what does it mean to break boundaries? What does it mean to break barriers, right? I think one major thing that we have done for so many years in empowering women through the Leading Ladies Business Institute is to show women that they can do more. They can be more. I think the greatest block, the greatest hindrance to, the greatest hindrance to women in entrepreneurship is the limitation in the mind, the limitation that the society has sold to us, the limitation that we have received, we have accepted, the limitations that we have embraced. So what does it mean to break down barriers or break boundaries? It means to remove anything standing in your way of getting the job done. Removing everything that stands in your way of getting the job done or achieving your dreams, your goals, or removing every emotional entanglement that prevents you from being all you can be and from making progress. It's about not staying in your lane. We talk about stay on your lane, but I'm daring you today, get out of your lane, explore, get on an adventure, do more than you have ever done. Tell yourself, I am well able to take mountains. I am well able to take the lands. I am well able to go global. I am well able to do this, right? It's about not staying in your lane. It's about not being something that the world expects you to be. Listen, the world puts difference in a box because the world wants us to fit in. And what happens is this: most of us focus on fitting in that we forget to stand out. We forget to do what we do best, which is to stand out. And if you really think about it, you see, someone else constructed that box that you have found yourself in. Someone else made that box. So why are we forced to fit into it? Do not accept limitations. Limitations in the mind, limitations on the outside, limitations, words of limitation, thoughts of limitations. You are more and you can do more. Listen to me. One thing I tell women is this: every woman needs to get empowered. Every woman needs empowerment. And this is what the Leading Ladies Business Institute stands for. This is what the Leading Ladies Foundation stands for. We stand for empowering women. Listen to me. When a woman is empowered, a family is empowered, a community is empowered, the whole world is empowered, because empowered women change the world. Empowered women change the world. Listen to me. Empowerment is the process of becoming stronger. It's the process of becoming more confident, especially when it comes to taking charge, taking control of your life, and claiming what belongs to you. Empowerment means you have power and control over your life, which includes making your own choice. Listen and listen well. Who says you can't be successful? Who says your business cannot grow? Who says, you see, entrepreneurship is just a skill. It's just a skill. It's amazing how, the limitation is really not on the outside. Money is not running away from you. But you see, money is your friend. Money is your servant. But you see, you need to believe that I can learn everything I need to learn to be all that I need to be and to have all that I need to have. You have the power to make your own choice. You have the power to make choices to succeed. You have the power to learn. An empowered woman is a strong, visionary, supportive woman who enjoys the right to grow, to manage her own resources, to manage her time, to improve her spiritual, her mental, her emotional, and economic status, as well as to be in charge of her own life. Are you an empowered woman? We want to raise empowered women in this generation. We want to change the narrative for women in our generation. We want to build a foundation, a solid foundation of financial freedom for the next generation of females that will come to this earth. And listen to me, we are the ones that they are waiting for. Listen, battles have been passed on to us. But you see, it's okay for one generation to make a mistake. But for the next generation to make the same mistake, that's no longer okay. And I dare to say it's no longer okay. You have the right, and you have the right of choice to choose how you want your economic status to be, irrespective of what you've been exposed to. You can make that change right now. You can become strong. You can become a visionary. You can become that woman who enjoys her right to grow. We don't need permission to thrive. You were born to thrive. The first barrier when it comes to breaking boundaries is the one in our minds. You see, the average woman feels like, I can't do much. The best of me is to be a wife. The best of me is to be a mom. The best of me is to manage a little business in the side corner. But listen, every great tree, every mighty tree started as a seed that was planted in faith, started as a small seed that was planted in faith by someone who believed in the potential of that dream, in every idea. And you see, we say ideas rule the world. Why? Because inside of every idea is the potential of a global business. It may start small. Nothing big or nothing great starts big. It will be a freak. Everything great, every great dream starts as a dream and starts with a resilient spirit. And that's the spirit of entrepreneurship that we all have, the spirit of enterprise. It starts with a small seed. And when that seed is planted, then it grows and it becomes a mighty thing. That spirit of resilience, that spirit of perseverance, that strength, that discipline, that spirit of that strong character, that strength on the inside that says, you know what? I'm a woman, but I'm strong and I have all that it takes to be, to have, to deliver, and to walk in the fullness of my potential. Every great business or every great idea, it has in it the potential of a massive business. So that business in your hands or in your head or in your hands right now that you're struggling with, that you're wondering, will it ever become something? That little business by the side that you call a side hustle has the potential of to make massive impact. Potential is who you are that you have not yet become. Is what you have that you have not yet harnessed. Is what you can do that you have not yet done, but it's right there inside of you. The same way, your business idea, maybe it's in an idea form, maybe it's in your hands already. Your business idea has huge potentials to change the world, has huge potential to fulfill our divine mandate that says be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, dominate. That's what is inside of you. That's what God has committed into you. If you have an idea, you have a dream, you have something that has started living on your inside, listen to me. It's not meant to be small. It's not meant to die small. It's meant to grow. It's meant to grow. Every great thing started with an idea. And that's why the first thing we need to break, the first barrier, the first boundary we need to break is that one in the mind, in our own minds. It is said the enemy is inner me. The real enemy is not the woman in the village. The real enemy is not your mother-in-law. The real enemy is your mind. It's the mind that you allow to stay in your head rent-free, to dissuade you from your dreams and to tell you you're small and you will die small and you're not capable. You don't have what it takes. It will never grow. It will never see the light of day. But it's a lie. You've got to learn to believe in something that others think is impossible, and then go ahead and make it happen. This kind of boundary breaking involves overcoming limiting beliefs so that you can embrace all that is possible for you. Entrepreneurship starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. And listen to me, there are 4 things you need to do. As I round off on this note, there are 4 things you need to do. 4 things, only 4 things. Are you ready? 4 things that will change your life. 4 things to do that will change your life. 4 things that will change the trajectory of your life. Are you ready to learn those things? Number 1, your life will be at this exact same spot, except for these 4 things I'm about to share with you. You see, I realized that when God wants to help you, he will send you to a program like this. He will send you, you will meet a man. You will hear a voice. You will hear something new. You will hear something that will give you strength and energy. You will hear something that will give you a second chance at life, right? So the 4 factors, and that's why you are here today, all right? The first thing that you need to do, or the first things, when you understand these 4 things and you begin to engage these 4 things, it will change your life. Number 1 factor that will change your life and change your game from where you are is, number 1, the books that you read. When I talk about books, I'm talking about resources. I'm talking about training. I'm talking about books. Oh my God, you're an entrepreneur. Listen, everyone is an entrepreneur. Everyone has the ability. It's a skill that can be learned. Because you see, if you're not an entrepreneur, then you say you're a slave, right? So number 1, trainings, books. Books will change your life. Books will open up your mind. Books will take you to a whole new place. If you want to change your life, lock yourself up for 1 year. Read 1 hour a day. Read about business. Read about finance. Read and read and read. 1 hour a day. I can assure you, you're going to be the most learned person in your environment, right? So the books you read will change your life. Now, I always tell, someone said something. I told this to someone. I said, if you want to learn about finances, then read as many books as your age on finances. read as many books as your age on finances. You will break through financially. If you're struggling in the area of sales and marketing, read as many books as your age in that area. Whatever area you're struggling with, read as many books in that area and watch your life move to a whole new level. The second thing is people. I'm talking about mentors. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about people that are going on a journey. When God wants to bless a man, he will send a person. When the devil wants to curse a person, he will send a man as well. Men are gifts, especially when you find mentors, especially when you find people that have gone ahead of you that can motivate you and help you to, and bring out the best in you. The books you read, the people you meet, the environment you find yourself in, and the decision you make. Listen to me. Do you have any of these things in place? It's amazing that in our community, you can get all of these three things. And the decision you take today will determine what happens next. The decision you take today will determine what happens next. I always say that every woman has potential for 3 M's, right? Every woman has potentials for 3 M's. And I'm rounding off on this note. Number 1, you have the potential to be a mom. You have the potential to be what? A mom, a mentor, right? And a millionaire. And I call it the 4 M's, and a multi-millionaire. I've made up my mind. I'm not just going to be a mom. I'm going to be a mentor. I made up my mind a long time ago. I'm not just going to be a mom, because if all you are is a mom, if that's your highest aspirations, listen to me, you will be outdated, because after a while, your kids don't need a mom anymore. They need a mentor. So, we have potential to be moms. We have potentials to be mentors. And then after a while of being a mentor, if you have a mentor without results, even your children will not follow you any longer. So we have potential to be a mom, a mentor, a millionaire, and then a multi-billionaire. You have the potential, right? And it's all up to you. I've made up my mind. I'm not going to pass battles anymore. Let's stop passing battles of financial hardship, financial limitation. Pastor Iswa asked a question, said, how many of you had mothers who started a business and they are late, but their businesses have outlived them? Or they are retired and their businesses are still thriving and profitable? It's because they never went through mentorship. They never learned, because they didn't understand. They thought business, just the same thing, the same mistake women make when it comes to marriage. I love him, and because I love him, then I marry him. But there are many things that go into marriage apart from love. Love is never enough. When it comes to business as well, passion is never enough. Have you been trained? Have you taken any course? Have you read any book on business, on entrepreneurship, on finances? Have you read any business on personal growth and development? Have you read any book? Do you have a mentor? Do you listen to people speak? Do you attend conferences like this and workshops and all of these things that can help you grow? Listen to me. If you have not, or if you're not, entrepreneurship is a skill. Wealth creation is a skill. And it's really up to you right now. It's not the devil. It's not the woman in the village. It's not the mother-in-law. It's not even your husband stopping you, right? You see, you don't need nobody. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need to ask for permission to be great. You be great, and everybody's going to celebrate you. In the midst of the global crisis, you can rise above it all as you engage in practical learning, as you submit and make up your mind. Remember, the fourth thing is a decision. Make up your mind, your power of choice. I'm going to start my journey of entrepreneurship. I'm going to start my journey of financial growth, right? You can rise above the global crisis, right? And engage in practical learning. We are rich only through what we learn, and we're poor only through what we refuse to learn. So let's stop passing battles of financial hardship and limitations passed down to us by our mothers and our parents and the generation before us. But let us be empowered, right? Let's be empowered to pass batons of wealth mindsets and wealth creation. the ball is in your court. So I say congratulations again today as we celebrate you and we celebrate every woman globally on this great Women Entrepreneurship Day. And we are breaking boundaries. We are breaking down those barriers. We are rising from the rot to take our rightful place and position as we engage the amazing resources that God has placed within us to change our world and live this world a better place than we met it. Thank you so much for joining us today. And it's not yet over. We are about to move into the last session. And listen to me, if you have been here all through, you don't want to leave here. You want to be in the next session as the next speaker comes up loaded to give us step-by-step practical steps to navigate in this uncertain seasons. Are you ready? Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you. I believe in you, and I'm rooting for you as you succeed. See you at the very top. Mwah! Love you.
Thank you so much, RD. Thank you so much, RD. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful one. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat box now. Nothing can stop this audio tonight because we have one more amazing. Can we celebrate our found visionary chat? One thing I really love about what she said was that, we don't need to pass on battles anymore, right? And right from here, we can begin to break the chain of failure and begin to level up for a new season. Can we celebrate our founder, Reverend Dr. Arifalo in the chat box? Can you celebrate? I want to see your excitement. And, I want you to, from the two sessions that have happened tonight, our visionary and our CEO just came to shake us up out of, our comfort zone into what we can do. One very outstanding thing that I want you to remember from what Reverend Dr. said was that, your business has the potential to change the world. So maybe you have looked at yourself and say, oh, I'm just that very small, business owner. Or you say, oh, help my small business. That's not true. Your business is not just a small business. Your business has the potential to change the world. Now, if you're with us for the first time, we are very, very glad to have you here. Both speakers have spoken about the power of our minds. And so we have amazing things to help you, right? So first of all, we have our community. We have our Empowered Woman community. In our community, we have a free event that happens every Thursday on Telegram called She Means Business with Coach Iswa. And she's been taking us in the topic Sink or Swim in the past 2 weeks, right? It's been very, very amazing. Every Thursday, every third Thursday of the month, physically in Surulere, we hold something called the Business Clinic, where Coach Iswa comes as a doctor and she gives you the right medications for your business to thrive, right? We have a free e-library resource hub coming up soon. We have a book reading club called the Millionaires Cafe coming up very, very soon. So you don't want to not be a part of this community. One of the things that both speakers spoke about was the women that you have in your community. Also, right, we have courses that you can begin to take right away. If you are here on this call and you are an aspiring female entrepreneur, we have something called the Empower Her Business Startup Program. And my colleague is going to be posting that in the chat box. Also, if you're an existing entrepreneur and you feel like, I'm not just feeling my business, or things have just not been the way it should be, we have something called the Scale Up Business Growth Accelerator Program, right? It's self-paced and it goes for just a cost of 10,000 naira, which is a very little investment to what you need. That's about $10. I mean, $10, ladies, for the millions that your business can create, right? It's going to be an amazing session. Next up, we're going to be having the delectable, special consultant called Mr. Taffa. I'm going to be playing his profile right now, and we're going to be rounding up with amazing things. Don't forget, you have a free gift on this conference. Oh my God, the women that have come up spoke about our minds, and we have something called the I saw is 100 business affirmations to help the empowered woman take her business from where she is right now to where she should be and she deserves to be. See you soon. Love you very much, and don't forget, you can if you believe that you can. We love you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
It's my pleasure to introduce Emmanuel Tafa, the CEO and co-founder of Cryptar, an innovative edtech platform transforming career development across Africa. Cryptar leverages AI to upskill early career professionals, helping businesses save on recruitment costs while addressing the continent's $400 billion skill gap. With over 15 years of experience, Emmanuel has worked with over 100 clients, including leading organizations like MTN Nigeria, Bamboo Invest, and William Health. He has also pioneered graduates training programs that have helped individuals land roles at top companies like Amazon and McKinsey. He is a strategic thinker and passionate advocate for tech-driven education. Emmanuel's work continues to shape Africa's future workforce. Dear leading ladies, please join me in welcoming Emmanuel Tafa.
Yeah, hi everyone. Pleasure to be here, and I hope I'm audible. Thank you very much for joining me. You'll forgive my halo at the back of my head, just some light, but I believe you can hear me loud and clear. I also have a slide to share, and I believe I'll be up also and running. So please, there's a way I could know if you can all hear me. I believe it is audible and it's clear because I'm using an earpiece and a couple of other things. So just some quick house cleaning that I'm doing. All right, my name is Emmanuel Tarafa, like I've been introduced, and I will be your speaker for the next few minutes. First of all, I'd like to start by, my video will be on in a second, appreciating all the amazing speakers before me, starting with Reverend Doctor. Thank you so much, man, for that powerful presentation. You planted, I'm about to water. That's the summary. Thank you very much. Secondly, also, I would like to appreciate the organizers of this event for bringing it together, for bringing it together, and for considering me worthy to be part of this presentation. I appreciate and I deeply thank you for your time. Now, I will, as in my normal fashion, like to do some introductions. So please, we can go ahead to the slides. I have some slides to run through, and I like to provide some very practical things that I envision that are very important and required for building a successful business. Now, I have some technical things to discuss, and I will be running through them one after the other. All right. So I'll begin with the slides, and we'll just move on, and then we'll see where we go. Now, let me just do some very quick I call it some quick charge. Now, I have been a management consultant for the last 16 years. By March next year, I'll just be 3 years to 20 years doing the same thing. Now, what's the implication? The implication is, they asked Jesus a question. They said, on what authority do you do these things? Or do you say these things? There's a place where you have authority to declare or to say something, like a professor, where you are able to say, this is the way to go, and this is the understanding. So a lot of the things that I'll be sharing this evening are centered around some of the things that I've learned over the last 16 years that I'd like us to pay careful attention. So please, let's run through the slides, which starts with my profile, and then we'll take it off from there. All right. Once again, I'd like to deeply appreciate the organizers of the event for bringing this together and for inviting me. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Reverend Doctor. And thank you, Dumebi and the rest of the team. I joined a bit late, so I didn't meet the other speakers, but I'll listen in when I rewind from the beginning. So like I said again, partner Enzo Crypto & Company. Well, it's 16 now. That's a bit of a time. I mean, that slide hasn't been updated. But the thing I want you to pay attention is that I've advised over 140 companies. The last time I checked, about 160. So if there are 100 businesses on this platform, I've advised more than all of you in number. That's just to give you an idea of on what authority I have the things I have, or what gives me the authority to say the things that I am about to say. So I have some data and insights that would help you to appreciate the dynamics of starting and running the business. Please, let's proceed. Now, the first slide I'd like to show you is that of a 747 aircraft. A 747 aircraft has about 5 million parts. Please, you can move to slide 5. 5 million parts. Why is that important to understand? And it's a very popular slide I use in my presentations. It's trying to tell you that a business can have as many as 5 million parts. A company like Amazon, for instance, at that size and that scale, considering the lecture or the charge we just got from Reverend Doctor, when she said you can be all that you can be, that the world is there for the taking. That's the 747. So if your business now is just you and a bunch of other small, like a small team, you have your delivery guy, your driver, just managing yourselves, and you're still disappointing customers, you're still, trying to get things together, it's fine. You're on a journey, no criticisms, no hard feedback, but I need you to understand the destination. 5 million parts. So just remember that scale of operation, scale of strategy, scale of implementation. Please, let's move on to the next slide. Now, why is that important? While you are dealing with that, please follow me. These are my introductions. While you are dealing with that, you still have to deal with all the moving parts. And by moving parts, that's the next slide, slide 6. All the moving parts. And by all the moving parts, I mean you have other competitors. Now, this is the connection in an airline. The airline has other airlines in its own fleet. Delta Airways alone. Delta Airways is one of America's largest, probably the largest airline in America. Has 4,000 flights every day. Let me repeat myself. Delta Airline has over 4,000 flights every day. One airline, no plane crashes every other day. So what sort of sophisticated operation are you going to run to keep 4,000 flights in the air? And you're not the only airline in the world. So you now have coordination among yourselves. You now have dealing with regulators, because you're going to be dealing with different airspaces. Then you now have competitors. Then you now have, the international airlines, also international, like the dynamics of international travel, and so on and so forth. What am I trying to say? As your business begins to get complicated, it's not just enough that your business is large enough with 5 million parts. There are now other layers of complication that you have to deal with, which is what I just explained. Other businesses, other locations, other competitors, and so on and so forth. Now, why is that important? It is important because I want to start by setting your mind to understand the journey on this thing. But the thing that I'm always very careful to communicate effectively is that you have to build the capability and the capacity. I want to tell you for free that your mind is important in the equation of things. In fact, I tell people that if your mind is not even developed to a certain point, and I'm not talking about education or the ability to speak good English, even though those are very important. I'm talking about a mind that has to comprehend using a sense of, the mind that is curious enough, not just to pursue knowledge, but to comprehend it and learn it as a discipline. That is what I'm talking about. Let's move to the next slide. Now, my entire lecture is going to be centered on you and you alone. Now, why? No, well, I mean you, but essentially your own personal development to building and running a business. I have an idea of the audience on the call and on the event today, and I'm trying to make sure I leave you this evening with a very clear understanding, I beg your pardon, of what it really takes to succeed in business. Now, remember what I started when I explained to you my dynamics and what I've done and what I'm still doing. So look at it. I call them the 3 requirements of a successful entrepreneur or business. Number 1, sincere strategic intent of team. 2, the right people and culture. And then 3, great products and services. All right? Sincere strategic intent of the team, the right people and culture, great products and services. Now, this is for entrepreneurs, for business owners. You're going to deal with a lot of information. And that's one of the things I need to spend some time talking about, that we live in a generation where there's information overload. I repeat, information overload. Apple Podcast has over 1 million shows. Let me repeat myself. Apple Podcast alone has over 1 million shows. That's just Apple Podcast. Now, right? They have a couple of originals on it. We have Spotify. Spotify has probably its own original. Then there's Amazon. Then there are several others. Now, I have not included YouTube and all that is in YouTube. I tell somebody the other day I tell people, if you know me, that YouTube has more educational content than all the universities in Nigeria combined raised to power 10. You heard me loud and clear. YouTube has more educational content than all the Nigerian universities have combined times 10 raised to power 10. So, and it's just the only thing it costs you is your data. So information is not the problem, but it is the wisdom and where you sit to organize that information and benefit from it. So I try my best based on my experience to try and summarize for people, because that the trouble they're going to face is like they get into the deep ocean. I try to provide a navigation system that will help them find their location based on their desired choice. So these are the three things that I would say for a business owner. If you focus on having a sincere strategic intent, you focus on finding the right people, and then you build great products and services, you have started. Let's move on to the next slide. All right, so let's start with you. What do I need to know about you? Here are the three things. Number one, your personality. 2, your capabilities. Next slide, sorry. I'm running through. Your personality, your capabilities, and your priorities. I repeat, your personality, your capabilities, and your priorities. What's your personality? Your personality is very important. That is the way you generally have been wired or have sort of over time. I mean, some of you take all sort of personality tests. But what I'm really saying there is a clear and a good assessment of what you can really do. That's what it is. That's what it's about. And your predispositions about several things. So there are different personality tests you can take. I mean, for instance, the DISC one is a very popular one. DISC. I beg your pardon. DISC. You know, and the combinations of those specific traits to showing your strengths and weaknesses are important. Now, I know where some of us are people of faith, and we're able to outgrow our personality, or rather to receive grace to do more than our personalities, and that's fine. But for those of us who are still on our journey, it's important to have a fair understanding of your limitations so that you know where you need to find complementary support. Secondly, your capabilities. For your capabilities, we're talking about what you can do, your knowledge, your skill, your work ethic. Then the lastly is your priorities. Your priorities is the ability to choose what to prioritize. And I'm going to give you a practical example in the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Please follow me very carefully. The next slide displays how information is thrown at you in the world. This is a practical example that I put forward to help you appreciate and understand something. So look at the problems that are being thrown. Now, how you deal with daily issues. Just look at how information comes. Now, this is just 5 examples I brought. But as an entrepreneur, you may be faced with as many as 50 to 100 of such decisions every week. I repeat, you can face as much as 50 to 100 of these decisions every day. But I just picked 5. Maybe that's what you're facing at the current hour. Prices of raw materials are skyrocketing. Second one, I need to hire staff, but I cannot seem to find the right talent. I am under pressure from family and community and other commitments. You know, commitments pull your attention. You're still trying to put your business together, and then you have commitments from other places that are drawing your attention. They want your time, they want your resources. I need to increase sales. Another problem. And then lastly, I want to enjoy my life while building the business of my dreams. Now, these are all the issues that have been thrown at you. How do you prioritize and organize? Please follow me to my next slide, slide 12. So look at the way the same information has been received, data has been received, but look at the presentation of the thinking. Remember, I talked about prioritization and decision making. The thinking, look at level 1. How to reorganize myself, business, and others. That's level 1. Number 1, myself. Number 2, business. Number 3, others. Myself, business, others. That's level 2. Then there's level 3. Now, there are a couple of things I want you to take away from this slide. Number 1 is the highest level of abstraction. That is what we call level 1. The highest level of, in other words, this is where it begins from. Now, because of the limited time I have, I did not take you through that whole definition of what level of abstraction is, or explain to you some of these things that are, like showing you how to, critical thinking, problem solving, which is my forte, but I didn't take you through that. But just take it like this, highest level of abstraction. And the problem statement is very clear. How do I organize myself, business, and others? So look at myself. Look at the options there. Thankfully, Doc had already said it. So get a mentor to advise me. That's number one. Silver bullet type thinking. 2, build a personal development plan. 3, invest in me time weekly. Me time. That's my own time for myself, where I just sit back, relax, refresh, recharge. Now, that is the decision-making process. I'll get a mentor to help me navigate these things, or a couple of mentors. I'll build a personal development plan to continue to build my capability, and then I'll invest in refreshing and recharging. Look at business. Raise funding, increase sales, review costs and pricing. All right? The third one is get a coach or a consultant. Let me move this to be sure that I hope you can still hear me, or I believe you can still hear me. Okay. I'll continue. I just wanted to go, okay, yeah, I'm sure I can be heard. All right. So we have, let me just check from the charts to be sure. Anyway, I believe you can hear me. If you can't, I'm sure you interrupt me. But anyway, let me continue. So I said, look at the business, raise funding / increase sales. What you're talking about is cash flow. 2, review cost and pricing. 3, get a coach or a consultant. The third option is others. Create circles, family circle, friend circle, and others, and manage that. Rationalize commitments. What is rationalized commitments? You literally take a pen and you start cutting down on people. Association of so and so, I'm out. This was I'm out. That one, I'm out. I'm only going to focus on this few until I break through. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I left the third one for you to figure out. But what am I really saying here? This is your ability to make decisions. Now, I picked a very simple example because there are much more complicated examples that I could have presented. So please pay attention to the dynamics. Let's move to the next slide. Brilliant. So look at the alternative. All right. The alternative is there, but because of time, I won't spend time, which is, another type of example. Sorry, that's actually a wrong example, but let's move ahead because of time. Please go ahead. I used it for another example, but it's not most appropriate. All right. Now let's talk, still talking about yourself. What else do I need you to understand? Cerebral thinker, sales machine, dual execution. So what do you mean, Emmanuel? We're still talking about capabilities. Remember, I said we're going to talk about you, your capabilities, your priorities, and so on and so forth. So cerebral thinker. Now there are three. I mean, this represents about three key traits of an entrepreneur. Now this is from observation. Now some may have a mix of the two or three, and some may just be one very specific one. So I'll give you an example. Cerebral thinkers. Cerebral thinkers are people who have the ability to think sometimes abstractly, abstract thinking, but more importantly, are able to make strategic decisions. What is strategic decision? A strategic decision is when you make a decision with an outcome in mind. Let me give you a very simple example. A poor girl from Ajegunle, and I'm sorry, no disrespect to Ajegunle, or let me use any, because there's poverty everywhere. There's poverty in Lekki too. Okay, let me use Igboefon so that I don't offend people. A poor girl in Igboefon who lives in what they call modern slums, like or urban slums. I beg your pardon. A poor girl in Igboefon decides that I want to be wealthy. What are my options, right? In another 3 years, and she thinks strategically and says, my best option is to marry from the Lagos royal family, and she positions her trajectory in that. That's what you do, is strategic thinking. Like, my goal is I want to marry from the royal family, or I want to go to school and get an education, or I want to start a business and succeed. Any of these random options, right? They are as random as they sound. It's what I mean by strategic. So that's what a cerebral thinker. Why should I do this business, and what is the implication? Now, sometimes they accuse them of overthinking, analysis paralysis, and all kinds of other, but they are very important in the scheme of things. I wish I had more time to tell you about them. 2, sales machines. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to do. They just know how to sell. They need to know how to bring the right people, connect the right people, and sell the deal. The third one is doers or executionists. They're extreme. They don't even think. They don't calculate. They just start. This estate, what will it be like to sell Akara? The next day, they're already in the market. They bought all the everything. They've branded it. They started selling. They did not calculate whether people want their Akara, whether the estate has, what's the pricing, how much do they sell it?
They've done it. Now that's the doers. Now, if you understand your strengths, then you now know what you need to complement. And it's a very important criteria in succeeding in business. All right? I'll leave it there for now because of time. Let's move on. So just know where your strength lies and then know what complementary support you need. Now, the challenge is for the thinkers or for the doers, I beg your pardon, just a quick addition. For the doers, they usually suffer from a lack of ability to set direction, to think beyond everyday activities. Those are the challenges, but they're also very good at getting things done, and they will thrive in an environment where operational efficiency is the requirement. But for strategic thinkers, they're the ones that succeed when there's competition. You can imagine everybody in the estate selling eggs. How are my eggs going to be differentiated? It is strategic, it is critical thinkers or cerebral thinkers that will be able to come up with a better way to sell their products. While for those who sell, it's a case of some people have great products, they have been thinking through it, but they've not been able to go and access the markets they need. That is what a salesperson does. And sometimes you can find your replace or your complementary talent or support in the staff that you hire. Next slide. Let's talk about your people. Now, I'd like to use this example for those of you who know me. Mark Zuckerberg made it very clear. He said he will not hire anyone that he cannot work for in another lifetime. I repeat, I will not hire anyone that I cannot work for in another lifetime. What's your hiring principle? The founder of Airbnb said that he interviewed the first 500 people by himself. These are part of the conversations. If you're going to do very well in business, you have to have the ability to attract and hire people that you can delegate to. It's an important sign. But more importantly, because I know small businesses struggle with it, one of the greatest elements of success as a great leader is that you can attract people that can not only do as good as you, but better than you. Now, as cliche as that will sound, it is extremely hard because that so-called humility or servanthood will be tested. Where the people that you know you brought in, the trainer, you pay salary, will ask you questions. And the way you react to the questions would automatically tell us whether or not you are threatened or you understand the value you can get from them. Next slide. Next slide. So still on the point, right? This is the point. A team, but you only who are these guys? Well, apart from the president and his former vice, because that's the whole picture, the rest of the three are all billionaires: Google, Amazon, and Meta, Facebook. These are the people that ran these organizations or started them, or a part of this founding team, or were instrumental to their success. The point is that your team needs to look like you need to build a star-studded team. Let me say this again. If you want to know the secrets, one of the secrets of businesses that do very well, which is not very common in all the lectures that we go. I mean, not that it's not common in lectures, but it's not something that small businesses are able to swallow. Is that you actually have to have a great team. You have to. If you hire, you don't hire for price. You hire for intelligence. Let me repeat myself. You don't hire for price. You hire for intelligence. Now, some people say they accuse me of being discriminatory, blah blah blah. But with all due respect, I don't personally hire people that are not intelligent. I'm sorry. Yes. What do you mean? If you cannot if you're not good in math, you're not good in English, problem solving, critical thinking, I'm sorry. We won't be able to work together because so why is he talking like this? I'm not discriminating. You can go back and sort your O levels, build your capability. I'll give you that opportunity through the training school we're doing. But the reason why is because if you're not even intelligent, you can't even appreciate God. So what do you mean? If you look at the people that God used, they were very intelligent people. I mean, even he himself is intelligent. Do you know how many neurons run through your brain? Does it look like it was built by somebody who's not intelligent? Have you looked at the dynamics of the universe that scientists are still studying, from the science, the gravity, everything? Do they look like they were designed by somebody who didn't have common sense? If God was Jaga, you'd have seen the way he arranged everything. Look at the precision. And then you now, as a child of him, in his own image and likeness, you're now settling for less. No. I'm not saying we won't give people room to grow. You give people room to grow, but we also encourage people not to stay lazy and not to stay mediocre. Next slide. So here's Netflix. Because of time, I can't dwell on it. This is their own hiring policy, or some of the not hiring policy, but these are the things they consider in hiring. But one of the things I just want to point out is that they say they're a professional sports team and not a family. I'm sure you know this because, we're a family in my company. Well, they take care of each other, but it's not a family, it's sports team or professional team. If you don't deliver, we bench you. All right. They also believe in stunning colleagues. People that are very good attract very good people. If you're an average person, if you're HR, head of HR, or the person, if you can't delegate hiring, you need to be able to sit down and inspire the people you want to bring in and show them what the options are. Now, some of you will be sitting and be like, I'm a small business, I'm very good at what I do, but I don't think I'm able to inspire young people to come and join me. All this, you hear things like, these young people nowadays, they don't want to work. So how are we going to attract them? Well, that's true in a sense. What I'll just tell you is this, and this will be very funny, and I'm going to use a very random example. Go and learn from clergy. Go and learn from the clergy. So what do you mean? Go and learn from men and women of God. Have you noticed that they attract people? Have you noticed that they are very... But what is about them that attract people, that people like them and even want to do things for them free of charge? Well, I'll tell you, one of them is that they have an excellent spirit. They genuinely care. Of course, they have the spirit of God, they have grace and all of that. But more importantly, is that they represent an aspiration that is desirable. So if you want to be a great you want to be able to attract great employees, people that have the capability to be like you, then you need to invest. You need to be more conscious, and you need to be inspiring. You don't want people to come to work and they can't deal. I mean, they come today, direction has changed, you're very scattered. Can you come? No. It's not like you have to be able to respect. Just pick the phone and call at 9 p.m. And you have to pick my call. They will leave you. Yeah, hello, hi. I'm so sorry to call late. I just need something. Can you share? It's fine. Nobody wants to live in a world now that they cannot control, that they don't feel like they have control. So what? You pay my salary, you can't just barge into my schedule on a weekend. You have to at least say excuse. Hi, I'm so sorry. Can I, please, can you just spare me 5 minutes? I know it's off work hours now, but I need a favor. Like those little things will just help them to calm down. You can't just come and, those days that we started our careers in the early 2000s, all those things have gone now. You can't come and be bamboozling people. They will just resign and go and sit at home with their parents. After all the houses in Lekki are empty and Ikoyi. So do you understand what I'm saying? Well, actually, I don't like to hire such. Let me not go there. I want to hire people that are hungry so that they can have something to aspire to. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But you get my point, right? That was to get your attention. Let's move to the next slide. Please don't quote me for that. So in conclusion, what's the strategy for hiring? You either hire people that you build, people that you develop. Hire people that you find the people, you develop them, or you create a hybrid. In our own case, we invested in developing them. We actually trained them from scratch, but they were smart, they were committed, we trained them. For other times, you find, for some people, you know what, I cannot train, I cannot invest, I'll find and hire, and you pay for it. But I want to tell you something. If you want to really, really have a good journey as an entrepreneur, you better invest in people, your people's strategy. You need to have a clear way. All these stories are here. We train them, they live with our knowledge, we train them. I'm sorry, with all due respect, I respect your craft, your trade. I've heard all that in my life. You have to crack it. If you don't have a clear people strategy, no matter, I don't care what the business, your business cannot be harder than Amazon, cannot be harder than Delta, cannot be harder than all the others, and they all started small. So it's an investment. And you can also learn from our Savior with his disciples. Next slide. All right, what do these men have in common? Well, his vision, the summary. That's what I always like to highlight. And what does vision mean? You have to be ready to rewrite the script. Don't mind others. Now, why do I like to use foreign people? So what about the black people? Well, there is, I can put them. Maybe in next slides, I'll remember to. And no disrespect to our people. I mean, perfectly. But the reason why I like to select these people is I have studied them very carefully. And these guys champion innovation at the highest. When I say innovation, I mean innovation. They created new frontiers. They broke like things that didn't exist. They brought them to life. Not copy something, start and scale, not trading. I mean, no disrespect to trading, buying and selling and all that. No disrespect at all. I'm just saying that I need you to borrow from that innovation so that when you, maybe it's even pure water you're selling, how will my pure water be different from the pack of it? Okay, it's bottled water I'm doing, it's tiger nuts I'm doing, is what's the other one? Is sugarcane drinks I'm selling. Whatever you are doing, how on earth? I mean, look, everybody's selling tiger nuts. Even Ebano is selling tiger nuts. So how will my own tiger nuts be different? What barrier to entry am I going to put that will give me competitive advantage? I don't know, but that's what you can borrow from this man. When I say I don't know, I mean, sorry, I don't mean I don't know. I'm telling you what the challenge is. I beg your pardon. And that's where you need to begin from. Next slide, because I need to be mindful of time. Now, why am I showing you this? This is Amazon. Amazon started selling books, only books. Now, these are almost 39 companies that are all multi-billionaire companies that they now own, from Audible to Amazon website to ring.com, all of that. What am I saying is there's the confusion entrepreneurs face when they have too many ideas. Some of you have too many ideas. You can sew, you can sing, you can make cakes. So you have so many things going on for you. At the end of the day, you can't pay your rent. So these kind of issues, it's a sensitive thing, but it's called, you have to understand how to focus. Don't worry about it. You will have them all. You still have the training school. You still have the foundation. All of it will come together. But you need to first break through with one, which is what happened. You need to become a monopoly in something. When you become a monopoly or the number one, then you can now start using that success to start acquiring or building the others. And you will do it at a faster pace and at a more successful rate than if you carried everything at the same time. It's like a man that found that treasure on a piece of land and goes to sell everything he has and comes back to buy the piece of land so that he can keep the treasure. That is the secret. Focus. Every time I hear them interview Dangote, one of the things he keeps saying, and he says very casually, but sometimes we miss because it's a very busy and noisy generation for us. He says, be focused, be focused, be focused. He can afford to do anything now, but he started with something, became number one, and then started dominating. Next slide. All right. Now, let's talk about your strategy. This is very important for small businesses that I like to highlight. Listen, this is important. You're either an Apple or a Techno, a Mercedes or a Walmart. So what do you mean? Apple an Apple 16, iPhone 16 is probably, I think, over 1.2, 1.3, over $1 million, I'm sure. A Techno that can probably do almost everything, and the camera will be arguably as good, is probably half that price. Why would an Apple cost almost 2-3 times? They are playing the value game. All right, follow me. They are playing the value game. So this is what it means. You're either doing value or volumes. I repeat, value or volumes. What's value? See, listen, my service, my own bottled water is 1,000 naira. Normal bottled water is 200 naira, but my own is 1K. Why is your own 1K? Because you put vitamin C inside without changing the color. Okay, we did not know. That's value. But please follow me. And it is mostly for entrepreneurs who do the business by themselves. Please, I'm repeating myself. So some of you are currently making the product from your kitchen, but you're trying to sell the product at the price that a manufacturer like PZ is producing with robots and machines. And their unit cost is so low and they can do volumes. You need to pay attention to that. Another example is Walmart. Walmart, Amazon, plenty. Small prices, volumes. But Mercedes, of course, they still make a significant amount of units, but you can see the price point. You can't compare Mercedes with a Kia. The price is the same car from point A to point B. But what is the price of the Mercedes? Where am I going with this? One of the challenges that entrepreneurs face is they are afraid to price. But let me share an idea with you that will set you free from pricing. In this world today, there are over 2,000 billionaires. Let me repeat myself. There are over 2,000 billionaires. How long do you think it takes to count a billion if one count is a second? How long do you think it takes to count a billion if one count is a second? Guess, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Let me help you. Maybe 1 month. It will take you 33 years to count a billion. I repeat, it will take you 33 years to count a billion, 1 billion, 33 years. There are 2,000 people that are worth over a billion. Now, let's not talk about millionaires. Probably 10,000 people across the world. What am I saying? If your focus is value, if you only need to sell a product for $1 million, listen to me. A billionaire can choose to part with $1 million for your product. Listen, a billionaire can choose to part with $1 million for your product. You only need 100 of them, and your revenue will be 100 million naira. So $100 million. Please go and do the math. How much is $100 million? So I'm repeating myself. If you focus on value, because if you're an entrepreneur, and this is important. If you start and you want to, God help me. How do I explain this to these people? Because is this where you miss it? God forbid, and I can't say some things on this call. You don't want to be in your 50s and you look back and spend all your years in entrepreneurship and you can't buy a house. Meanwhile, your mates that decided to do career 9 to 5 moved up the ranks. By 45, 60, they have down payment for, by 40, 45, they have down payment for mortgage, at least, before they now buy it out, or can even actually buy a house, but from their bonuses, because they became executive directors. So, if you don't understand that pricing thing, that's why to build value, it's extreme competence. When they say, when you want to ask, think about T.Y. Bello. Look at how much he charges for a photograph. You'll be wondering now, wow, nobody does camera. Well, I don't care. That's value. It has to be worth her while. So if you are still, and I'm not disrespecting anybody's craft where you are now, but as you get deeper and better, look for those 2,000 billionaires and 10,000 millionaires in dollars and serve them, charging them properly. You'll be wealthier. But if you want to play the volume game, then you better prepare for large factories, large robots, mass production. That is the volume game. But if that's not where you are, you're still in your kitchen cooking stuff up, then you better be careful. Let's move on. Next slide. I think I spent too much time on this, but it was important I set the record straight. Now, I wanted to quickly put this also in perspective. This will also set some people free. Now, there's a classification of businesses. So what do you mean? You're a practice, you're a startup, you're an SME, or you're a traditional corporate. I'm only going to explain those slides, these four. A practice. What is a practice? You are the business. Makeup, coaching, consulting. You are a practice. You are the business. All right? Medical practice. Startup. What's a startup? Now, there's a difference between a startup and SME. Some people don't know this difference. So what's the difference? A startup, like it has now become generally accepted, is a company that does not have middle ground. So what do you mean? It is usually pursuing funding either by VCs, venture capital, and they return, their goal is to return significant returns, like 1,000x. So you start 2-3 years, they've gone up. Look at Money Point. Money Point is less than 10 years. It has a valuation now than probably Fidelity Bank. I'm not sure. I have to check, but please don't take me to the bank. Or I don't want to mention some banks. So I'm sorry I use Fidelity, but just think for a second. Fidelity has been around for a while. Now, no disrespect to Fidelity. Fidelity has its own unique positioning, has a license that is valuable, and so on and so forth. But the point is that Money Point is now worth $1 billion. It's a unicorn. That's what you call startup. 10 years, boom, $1 billion, $100 million, whatever. SME is slow and steady, 25% year-on-year growth, 20% year-on-year growth, 30% year-on-year growth. If you do 100, maybe over 3-4 years, it is nobody's putting me under pressure. We're growing at our pace and at the size of our vision. That's MSME. They power the economy. Then the last one is traditional corporate, MTN, Shell, Chevron, corporate, Dangote. That's corporate. So you belong to one of these four. As far as micro, small, and medium enterprise. That's another category. You're not under pressure. You're just going at your pace. But if you're a startup, you're going to be under immense pressure because you have to deliver returns. Now, does that mean SMEs don't deliver returns? Well, that's how I chose to differentiate them because I needed to make it clear. So I see the mix sometimes. People are startups and they're actually SMEs and they're claiming to be startups. Well, if you're lucky, but I don't think it's a difference. There's a whole lot of difference in business model. For instance, SMEs largely play in red ocean. Red ocean means there are people, it's people doing the same thing. Startups, they have a completely different position. They want to position to be monopolies in their sectors, become the biggest in their niche market, all those kinds. And then practice is you. So respect yourself, you are practice. Don't go and carry the burden and the cost of an SME, hiring people up and down the place because you're trying to no, you can be you carry your briefcase, enter the place, collect your $1 million and go away. And you're fine. Go and buy a house with it, go and diversify. You don't have to carry a heavy structure. There's EA, there's driver, it's not by force. Practice is sweet money. It's you and your money. All right? Next slide. Okay, this is further information. I put this there to just give more context because I'm kind of explaining and I need to hurry up. I know my time is fast spent, but I hope you're learning something. Now, the capabilities of your business: operationally efficient, scaling, innovative, and selling. So what is that? Your business is going through one of these stages. Are you just trying to be operationally efficient? Now, in other words, I want to be able to produce the goods and services at the right time. That's what I mean by operationally efficient. The second one is scaling. I'm efficient, but I want to start scaling. I've cracked my business. I want to grow more. I want to do times 10, times 20. Innovation. Honestly, in my market, we're all like looking like doing the same thing. We're all selling bottled water. We're all selling tiger nuts. We're all selling kuli kuli. How do I innovate and meet the less race behind? Third one is that I have a great product. I have fixed the efficiency, but I need to just sell more volumes. I need to sell. That is where some of you are, or sell my services. Next one. Next slide, sorry. So in conclusion, which is this part, I was supposed to talk about microeconomics, which I'll do very quickly, and then I'll round up. I'm so sorry for the time. I think started anyway. I'll tie this up, and then it's a bit silent, so you don't really know you're just talking, but you believe they're hearing you. It's a journey and not a one-day pop. Invest in research and development. Build a team. Focus on becoming. Focus on what you become. It's a journey, all right, and you can follow through with that. Those are the highlights and the things that I wanted to emphasize. All right, let's quickly, in 5 minutes, I want to finish in 5 minutes. I was told to talk about the macroeconomy. Now, macroeconomy, what I would generally advise is, if you find me online, you can watch some videos I've done on macroeconomic analysis to teach people how to read it. We're entering 2025, and you're going to see macroeconomic reports. But I realize a lot of people don't know how to read macroeconomic reports, and I want to just walk you through that very quickly. Please, let's go through the slide. I'm just going to teach you a principle. In 5 minutes, I'll be out of your face. Next slide. I will send these slides, so don't worry yourself. Just scroll through. What is the economy? What are indicators? Now, all of us here went to school or are in school, right? Macroeconomic indicators are very important. They reflect. You can stay on slide on the second slide. Yes, you can. Slide 28. I beg your pardon. That's 28, which is the slide before this. So we all went to school. We understood it. Please, when you start hearing macroeconomic reports, they will tell you a lot of things. They will say, what I need you to understand is that these are the factors that influence macroeconomic policy or macroeconomic indicators or the macroeconomy, I beg your pardon. Geopolitics is important. Russia invaded Ukraine. Why did Russia's invasion of Ukraine increase the price of gold money in Nigeria? The answer is simple. For those of you who don't know, it's because Ukraine and Russia they are the largest combined, produce a significant amount of the wheat, the grains, wheat, right? And gold money is made from wheat. So therefore, the global supply chain was broken. Secondly, after COVID, the world has not still recovered completely because it's recovering in some places, but there was a disruption in the supply chain, global supply chain, from the farms in Ukraine and Russia or wherever in the world or US to the factories in the world or wherever they are made from or in Nigeria to the gold money on your table. That's the implication. Indicators are symptoms and not the cause or the drivers. These are the causes, right? So pay attention to the news because the news influences the indicators. Next slide. Now, please, this is important. And I want to say this, right? Because it's just that the time was a bit constraining, so I didn't go as much as I could. But I'm also, and I like to teach in very carefully so that you understand. All right? I'm not trying to impress you. It's Elon Musk I want to impress, so don't worry. Just follow me. That's to make you laugh. Anyway, look at all the indicators. The problem with the people that read macroeconomic indicators reports is that they confuse you. They don't tell you that, listen, all this stuff is great. There are only 2 indicators you need to pay attention to. The rest somehow are either derived or are implications of it. What are those 2 indicators? Now, there may be others, but these are the 2 main ones. Number 1, economic growth. Number 2, inflation. Please, you can move to the next slide. Economic growth or inflation. I repeat, economic growth or inflation. What is economic growth? Economic growth, please listen, is growth in GDP, gross domestic product. Simple. So what do you mean? Nigeria was projected to grow this year at about, I think, 2.5. I have to check my numbers again. I've completely forgotten. I think 2.5 or 3.5. It's been a while. And I've not been paying attention, right? About 2.5 to 2%. That's pretty. What does that mean? I will give you an example you'll not forget. When Obasanjo came just after the military era, a lot of civil servants could not afford brand new cars, or they had to use very rickety cars. But suddenly, they were now buying great cars. Why? There was growth in demand for goods and services. When there is growth in demand for goods and services, more jobs are created. Wages can go up. Standard of living will change. So people can now afford to buy. So the money begins to circulate. What do I mean? Somebody comes to invest in a factory. They build the factory in Lekki and they hire 5,000 people. What is the implication of hiring 5,000 people in a factory in Lekki? You will need more houses for their managers, for their directors. You will need middle income housing for their middle level staff. You will need more transportation. You will need more food. You will need schools. You will need hospitals. Have you seen the chain reaction? That is what happens when there is increase in economic activity. And that is an indicator that is tracked called growth in GDP. So every time you hear macroeconomic report, you will hear that. Second indicator, next slide, next 2 slides, inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the rise in the prices of goods and services. For those of you who never knew the definition of inflation, you now know. When you hear things like, the price of things change every day, that is inflation. We're going through probably hyperinflation. Maybe not hyper, but some crazy inflation. Those ones that you read in economics to pass WAEC that you're not paying attention to. That's what we're going through. What's the implication and what's the summary? It erodes the value of money. 1 million naira in January cannot buy you the same items in Ibadan 11 months later. So if you walked into Ibadan supermarket with 1 million naira and bought stuff worth 1 million, if you go back to Ibadan now, you cannot buy the same items without 1 million. That is what is called depreciation. Why is depreciation bad? Depreciation is bad because it increases the prices of goods and services, and it will make it now more expensive for manufacturers. So that same factory I talked about will now have to, fire people because it needs to save money or buy less raw materials or produce less items or hire less people. So if it was hiring 10 new people every year or every month, it will hire less because it needs to conserve resources. So I'm showing you the simple 2 indicators, inflation and economic growth. Every other thing you now hear is either driving those things or is derived because of those things. So when you hear Russia invades Ukraine, prices of goods and services will go high because the supply chain is broken. So the ships that used to go through that route cannot go again, or they increase their price, all kinds of things. All right. Another example is, Boko Haram and the insurgents in the north. Farmers are unable to go to their farms. And because of that, prices of goods and services, prices of farm produce are expensive. That's why everything is expensive, right? Because we didn't produce enough, or there was no production. Why was there insecurity? So insecurity is influencing. So when you hear the analysis, oil prices, why oil prices is important? Because Nigeria's government relies on oil prices. Oil prices, that's how we generate revenue, to power the civil service, to pay our debts, to invest in infrastructure projects. So when oil prices are up, Nigeria makes money. But we also have production. We need to produce goods and services. So we need to produce oil so that we can sell. These are all the things you need to, so pay attention. All right. Now in 2024, inflation, now this was 2023. So no, I beg your pardon. Let me repeat myself. High inflation between 7 to 11% slows growth. Okay? Do you know what Nigeria's inflation is? Over 30%. Are you listening to me? Over 30%. In 2023, it was 29%. Now it's over 35%. But in 1995, at a point, we hit 72%. So that was Abacha's time. So we're like, you can you do the math and you. Where am I going with all this? I'm trying to explain how bad inflation is. Anything above 7% is bad. Inflation in the US and is 2.5, 3.5, those kinds of things. All right. Next slide. Next slide. I hope my presenter has not slept off, or my slide changer has not slept off. Okay. All right. I don't think my presenter is there. Presenter, next slide, please. Okay. Anyway, because of time, I have to start tying this up. I'm going to make these slides available. I'm always generous with slides. I mean, no problems at all, so that you listen. But I think the key thing I wanted to highlight. Okay, she's brought out the next slides. Okay. Anyway, let's move ahead because of time. I like to just start to say the implication very quickly. Next slide, please. So what's the implication? The implication is articulated clearly for different groups of people. I articulated it for people that buy and sell, for people that run practices, and so on and so forth. You can see them in the subsequent slides. I will make them available for you so that you can, I'll send it to Edidium so that you can read through and see the implications for yourself and your business. All right? I won't repeat it and I will not dictate it because of time. I think we have to stop now. But in conclusion, Emmanuel, what must we do to be saved? I'll tell you something. Reverend Doctor shared something very important in her presentation. That's the speaker before me. She said, mentors. Now, there's this simple rule I tell people. You need to keep your options few. You need to keep your sources of knowledge very few. If you follow me online and you listen to some of the things I say, you'd understand. Keep your sources very few. You can't have too many sources of information. It will confuse you, and it would impact your ability to really get to be deep. So I keep my sources few. I have my learning and development plan that is clear. I know the books I'm reading are books that have direct implications of my day-to-day work. I know the podcast I pick. So it's not random, it's not disjointed. It's following a chain and a structured way. I wish you good speed. Thank you for listening, and do have a fantastic evening. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Tapa, for that very enlightening session. I mean, it was so good. I mean, and your sense of humor is just very commendable. Thank you very much. One thing that really stood out for me was that, he said, focus, and, keep your source of knowledge very, very slim. But I think the power of focus is so much needed in today's world, right? When he said, if you can take one business idea, I know that you're a bundle of possibilities. I know that there's so much that you can do. I know there's so much that God has placed in you for your world. But take one thing, and grow with it, and then begin to write on all the lessons, the knowledge that will come out of just that one thing. So guys, I want to see, how was tonight's sessions for you? What did you learn in the first session, the second session, the third session? Right, Coach Iswa had, come to just shake us out of our comfort zone. A lot of times women just sit down and be like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to do my best in quotes. Meanwhile, they're settling, and our visionary came speaking to us about our mental powers and mentorship and knowledge and writing on that wings, and, Mr. Taffa came just enlightening us. I love when he spoke about the power of a great thing. He said, know your strengths and know where you need to collaborate with others for your weaknesses. So a lot of times women have the excuses of, oh, I don't know how to, I don't know how to. No. Be very aware of your strengths, and even when you have your weaknesses, know and be able to attract the right people. Can we celebrate our speakers tonight? I want you to celebrate Coach Iswa. I want you to celebrate Reverend Dotto. I want you to celebrate Mr. Tafa. And so, ladies, I would like to ask, are you ready to break boundaries? No, I don't mean it from a place of just say, yeah, 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 yeah. I want you to type in the chat box one thing you're going to be doing right after this event. But guess what? I have a lot of options to help you, make that choice. Number one, I would love you to join our Empowered Women community. Everything that we do happens in that community. We have free coaching sessions with Coach Iswa weekly. We have physical events that the channel empowerment community and the promote growth, right? We have something called the business clinic that holds every third Thursday of the month, right? And it holds live in the city of Surulere in Lagos, right? Also, we have already flagship courses that you could begin to take. So if you're an aspiring female entrepreneur, you have something called the Empower Her Business Startup Program. And my colleague is going to be posting that in the chat box. Please help me post the Business Startup Program link for any woman or any young lady on the call right here who is saying, okay, I've always thought about this, or I've always thought about what I can do with that. These courses are going to help you. We have a course, or rather, a module speaking about value creation. We have a module speaking about business planning. We have a module speaking about business strategy. We have a module speaking on sales. We have a module speaking on your hiring, your human resource capital development, and many much more. And if you're a woman who is in business or feels like my business is not even reflecting anything that I have in mind, we have something called the Scale Up Bundle. The Scale Up Bundle is going to help every existing female entrepreneur on this call and anyone who will be watching later on. We would help you to take your business from where it currently is to where you desire, and not just only desire, but you deserve. Don't forget what Reverend Dotto had said. She said your business has the potential to change the world, and we as women need to stop passing on battles and start passing on billions. There are 3 M's that Founder speaks about, and one of them is that every woman must be a millionaire, right? So access our flagship courses for existing entrepreneurs and aspiring female entrepreneurs. And if you're on this call but you feel like I've heard a lot tonight, I know that I can get the courses, but I still want to speak to someone. I have a lot of complications. I have certain realities, right, that are hindering me from moving forward, or I just want to hit a new milestone and you want to speak to a seasoned coach. I would like you to, fill our consultation form, which my colleague is going to be helping post. Dear Afokwe, please help me post it in the chat box. Our consultation form where you can get into a closed door session with our in-house. Iswa is ready to look at your business, to dissect it like a lab, and then take it from here to where you want it to be, right? Also, we have something for you. Are you ready? We have our free resource. It's called I Soar. I Soar is a compilation of 100 business affirmations for the empowered woman. We have something called I Envision. We speak about your vision and your purpose. We have confessions around your confidence. We have confessions around your resilience. And my colleague is going to be helping, display that in the chat box, right? And you can access it for free. It is just for you. And these confessions are going to begin to well up, the ability to begin to take steps. Sometimes one of the reasons why women aren't doing what they should be doing is that they just feel lethargic, right? One of the things that affirmations do is that they begin to move you already in the direction of where you should be. Thank you very much to maybe for that, for helping with that. Thank you. Okay, also, so the link is going to be posted in the chat box. I don't know if you have seen the link already. Please let me see if anyone has seen the link. So access your free I Soar confessions. Also, we have a free goal setting workshop coming on the 29th of November. It's going to be a Friday evening with Coach Iswa. We have a business strategy blueprint that goes for the price of 5,000 Naira, which you'll be using in the workshop. The workshop is called Envision 2025. Now, the next year is coming. This month and the next month is the best time to begin to evaluate and restructure your business for growth, for impact, and for profits, right? There's no reason why any woman on this call should go into 2025 having the same business challenges and money issues. No, no, no. We don't do that here anymore. When we hear knowledge, when we get knowledge, we take it already, we take the bull by the horn and we go for the next link, the next phase. So Envision 2025 is a free goal setting workshop with Coach Iswa on the 29th of November. And you're going to be having a workbook and a blueprint help you design your dream business for 2025. Oh my God, I'm really, really excited about that session, right? Also, dear ladies, we know that we're in the season where we'll be hearing AI, 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 AI. A lot of people have a misconception that AI has come to take you out of your business. No, I don't know of any AI that is going to come up with the rest, or rather any AI that's going to mix your special recipes, right? AI is here to help you. Yes, AI is going to actually reduce the amount of human capital resource, or rather human resources that will be needed for some certain things. But guess what? AI is still run by human beings. All right, and we have a program called the Mini MBA in AI, and I'd like my colleague to kindly help flag that the flyer is going to be holding next year in the year 2025 in the month of January. We're going to help you learn how to first of all, understanding the artificial intelligence space. We're going to learn how to use the AI to improve your sales, how to use AI to organize your business productivity, how to use AI for customer relationship services, how to use AI to craft new strategies, how to use AI for automations. Some people are like, that's for maybe the younger girls. No, no, no. The only place that we get old is in our minds. Your age is not a barrier. You're not too young and you're not too old to be able to get, acclimated with these tools already. So the mini MBA in AI, artificial intelligence, is coming up in the year 2025. We're going to be posting the link for you to sign up for the waiting list, and it's going to be a very, very enlightening session. It's going to help you leverage artificial intelligence for the next level for your business. Remember, Mr. Tapa had spoken about innovation. What are you going to do? Everyone, or rather, there are a lot of people already doing what you're doing. If you remember, if you've been joining the Sink or Swim with Coach Iswa, she has spoken to us about, are you going to give the painkiller strategy, right? And AI is one thing that is going to, is a tool, or rather has the right tools to help us take our businesses to the next level. But without the right knowledge, we would not be able to leverage these tools that we have right at our tips. So all the links that I have mentioned are going to be posted. We'd love you to join our community. We'd love you to, access our startup course for aspiring entrepreneurs, a scale-up bundle for existing entrepreneurs. Would also invite you to our special Envision Goal Setting 2025 workshop with Coach Iswa on the 29th, and sign up for the mini MBA in AI, right? So ladies, I would like you to see, I don't think I have seen in the chat box if anyone had questions, right? What we're going to do with the questions is that we're going to have a session where we, collate all the questions, and we're going to send the answers to your inboxes. And also in the community, we're going to have days where we're just going to chat. We're going to, talk about the session. We're going to replay, some of the highlights, and, we'll be able to ask LLBI most of our questions for free, and you're going to have them answered in your chat box, right? So I want to see, I don't think I've seen anyone in the chat box comment. I have said before, what is one thing that you're going to do after this program? One thing. I want to know just one thing that you're going to do. Can I see any woman in the chat box? Your comments might just inspire the next woman, right? So Lillian Rumer says she's here with one of her daughters. I mean, that is super amazing. Your daughter is going to see that, it's not uncommon for women to thrive, right? Why, so a lot of times people wonder, okay, I know women are always making noise. The reason why we have to make more noise about women empowerment is because the amount, and rather, the impact of how much women have been marginalized over the years, it is overwhelming. It is overwhelming. We are cheating ourselves of 50% of our human capital potential when humans don't rise to their fullest potential. So we haven't even made noise about the women being, or rather, women being empowered enough. We're going to keep on making this noise and this news of women empowerment. Why? Because when a woman thrives, an entire community is also empowered. Thank you so much, Lillian Rume, for your very kind and warm comment. Okay, so Joy Jesus says she's ready to break boundaries. That's great, Joy. But we want to know, how do you want to break the boundaries? So the mini MBA in AI has been posted in the chat box. We'd love you to kindly, sign up for the waiting list and be a part of women who are going to ride on the wings of tech for the next year, 2025. 2025 is going to be such a beautiful year, but nothing happens by chance. We're going to be intentional. We're going to ensure that we take the bull by the horn and we go for what we want. And so join us at the Envision 2025. It's going to be an opportunity to craft and design the business year that you have always desired. Maybe you've always felt like one day. No, it's not going to be one day. It's going to be today, right? And it's happening this month, Friday 29th, 2024. All right, thank you very much, everyone. So Jane says that she's going to streamline her sources of information. That is very amazing. We're coming up with our book reading club very soon for our women in our community. And with that, you're going to, read recommended books. You remember Mr. Tafa has said that he already has his books crafted for personal development. Okay, so Bamiji says she's going to focus on her strength to break boundaries. I love that. I love that. I love that. That is very amazing. So we're going to be closing tonight already. I don't feel like leaving, but we have to go already. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Some of us have kids. Some of us have work. Some of us have, our businesses to go to tomorrow. And sleep is part of self-care, right? An empowered woman gets empowered sleep. Do I have anyone who actually goes for her beauty sleep? It is part of everything, right? Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We're very happy. One of the major moves you should make tonight is joining our Empowered Woman community. And I love my colleague to kindly help post that in the chat box. The link to join the Empowered Women community is going to be posted in the chat box. Every information that you want on how you can interact with the wealth of solutions that we have for you and your business is going to be communicated in our community. We have a Telegram community and we have a WhatsApp community. It was so great having you all tonight. And so before we leave tonight, we're going to be taking a part of our I Saw confessions as we close tonight. Before I go, I would like to read Margaret's comment. Margaret says she's going to stop seeing her business as small and she will begin to see that her business has the potential to change her world. I mean, that is super, super, super amazing, Margaret. And we're very glad that you're ready for a new level for your business. So are we ready to close tonight? Who's ready, ready, ready? I want to see your readiness in the chat box. Ready, 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 ready. Are you ready? Okay. All right, so we're going to be taking our confessions tonight. I saw confessions. Please give me a minute while I just, load the confessions that we're going to be taking. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to be confessing on the vision and purpose section of our amazing I Saw confessions. Okay, so are you ready? I'm ready if you are. Okay, I see ready in the chat box. Okay, so my vision is clear. Can you say after me that my vision is clear and my actions align with my goals? I am building a legacy of success and impact. I am building a legacy of success and impact. My work makes a difference in the world. Can you say that? That my work My business makes a difference in my world. I lead with purpose. I lead with passion. I lead with determination. I am aligned with my purpose and I am guided by my values. Every step I take brings me closer to my vision. I am committed to achieving my goals with integrity. I create solutions that empower others and bring value. My business is an expression of my passion and creativity. I am focused, I am determined, and I am driven by my purpose. And we have one more section. I am a visionary. I am always thinking beyond limits. My ideas have the power to transform industries. I am intentional about the impact I create. I stay true to my purpose even in the face of challenges. I bring innovation and inspiration to everything that I do. My dreams are valid and my actions make them a reality. I am building a business that reflects my values. I boldly pursue opportunities that align with my mission. My purpose drives me to break boundaries and inspire others. I mean, that's superb. I see the big picture and I take action to achieve it. And this year is going to be my best year yet. All right, ladies, thank you very much. We at the Leading Ladies Business Institute, we are Africa's partner in women empowerment. And at the heart and core of all that we do is to see every woman rise to her fullest potential. The link to the confessions are going to be the affirmations rather are going to be posted in the community. Kindly join via the link posted in the chat box, and we will see you on Thursday with Coach Iswa at She Means Business. Do have a wonderful night, ladies. We love you very much. Bye bye.